If you were unsure about booking the Hospitality Butlins Weekender, then you need to watch this video. Rave Reviews episode 17, and we are back to tell you everything you need to know about Hospitality's first ever drum and bass weekender at Butlins Bognor and exactly what we thought of it. For 3 days and nights, your home actually is the rave, while the whole resort turns into a massive festival for the weekend, and you live on site right in the centre of it all, with one absolutely ridiculous lineup covering every subgenre that drum and bass has to offer across 4 indoor stages for 5,000 ravers. If you slept on it this year, trust me, you don't want to make that mistake again next year. For your accommodation, you can choose either a hotel or an apartment. Both sleep up to 7. If you do want a bit more of a party vibe, you don't really care about the noise, go for the apartments, but if you want something a bit more chilled, then go for the hotel. We stayed in the Ocean Hotel and honestly couldn't fault it. I'm not really too sure what I was expecting, but it was such a lovely place to call home for the weekend. The rooms were really nice, really modern, they were clean, it came with a TV, fridge, hairdryer, tea facilities, the beds were really comfortable. I was a little bit worried about being kept awake with everyone like on madness, and I'm not sure if we were lucky or the rooms were actually really well soundproofed, but we slept so well the whole weekend. There's a total of 3 hotels on site. Ocean and Wave are the newest, so naturally the most modern and probably are the nicest. Most of the rooms in these do also have balconies, and it's about a 5-10 minute walk roughly from the centre. Shoreline rooms I don't think did have balconies, but you are closest to the music, supermarket, restaurants and beach, which are all literally 2 minutes walk away. For the apartments, you had Oyster Bay, which was closer to the beach, and Atlantic Bay, which was closer to the raves. Butlins will give you confirmation of exactly which accommodation block you're staying in when you check in. There's a couple of different options to select from with different facilities depending on your budget, so definitely have a look at that when you're booking. So in total, you had 3 main rooms and a 4th daytime stage, all with their own bars, loos and seating, which was really handy. Room 1 was the hospitality stage. I swear this room actually had everything. The lights in here were popping off, the sound was really good. You also had this comfy little area at the back here with loads of sofas. There was a really good mix of sounds in here, so you probably could have stayed in here literally the whole weekend and still had the best time ever. The vibes were top tier. Room 2 was home to the Valve System, Planet V and Symmetry. Visually this gave kind of like warehouse vibes. It's probably the biggest dance floor out of the 3, and you definitely would not have known you were at Butlins. Valve was booting off in here. It literally brought part of the ceiling down. I know, long day if you're on the health and safety team this night. Room 3, slightly our favourite of them all, the smallest but by far felt the most intimate and well connected. Both the lights and sound in here were 10 out of 10. I wasn't sure how the systems in room 1 and 3 would stack up against the Valve afterwards. Butlins, not Fabric, but honestly they smashed it. Whoever was running the audio in here deserves a raise because it was perfect the entire weekend. The 4th stage was home to Days Music, Dubtendo and the Bangers and Clangers competition. They played anything and everything on here, literally from donk to speed garage. It was proper silly, and this is me just having a cheeky little mid-rave tea break. But music on here ran from 3 until like 7 or 8 most nights, and then during the evening we just used this as a cozy little seating area inside away from all the madness, which was really nice. Now I just want to give you a second to actually pause and digest this lineup. From Hospitality to Shogun, Critical to Run, Planet V to Symmetry, whether you're into liquid, jump up, neuro, minimal, rollers, this event had everything. The variety was flawless. In one room you'd have smooth, soulful, liquid, Go Next Door and Calix's Tearing the Gaffer new one with some proper like dark jump up and neuro vibes. If you are a D&B veteran into all corners of the sound, or you're someone just looking to dip their toes into other subgenres you don't really know where to start, this event gave you the perfect opportunity to experience all of it. Not even trying to sound cheesy when I say this, but it wasn't just a rave, it was a full-blown musical education in drum and bass. Every DJ played really distinctly to their own style, which created a really good contrast between all of the sets. It's so rare to go to an event where every set, one after the other, is so good. I can't lie, getting out for a break was probably the hardest thing about this entire weekend. Critical on the Saturday night and Shogun on the Sunday were genuinely some of the best few hours of music I have ever seen. The whole concept for this event is sick anyway, but musically it is a huge treat. Now most of your daytimes will be spent raving, eating, recovering or sleeping, but if you do still want to get out during the day, the pool party was on 2 till 6 on the Saturday. The play experience had VR rooms, bowling, escape rooms, laser tag and loads of other things as well. It's also where you check in when you first arrive. We've also got all the arcades in the main tent plus the beach as well, which was lovely for a walk or if you wanted to go and watch the sunset. The weather was actually really nice for most of the weekends. Luckily it wasn't too cold at all. The mini fairground was mostly closed sadly, I think, apart from bumper cars, but if you did want proper recovery they offered massages at the spa in Ocean Hotel, or you could use the sauna, steam room and hot tub, which was about £25 for 2 hours. Because we are no longer 21, our daytime schedule mostly consisted of sleeping and questioning our life choices before going again that night, but we did get to go and see the Bangers and Clangers competition every day, which was basically an open deck DJ battle where the crowd gets to decide whether your mix popped or flopped. I'm telling you, peak entertainment. Big up everyone that took part. Also big shout to the 2 winners, Aura and Son, who both smashed it and got their very own set on Sunday afternoon, sharing 30 minutes each. Son was actually too cold with it. What a legend, that guy is so sick. Food wise, if you wanted something quick, you had Burger King, Subway, Papa John's, Costa Coffee and Chopsticks, which was like a Chinese noodle type place. You also had this here, which was similar to Nando's. For drinks, you had this, which was a bit similar to a Wetherspoons, and also the Beachcomber Inn had classic pub food like pies, burgers, chips. I think most mains here were between like £10 and £16. They also did a buffet breakfast for £11.50 and a roast on Sunday for £15.50. Breakfast was alright, I suppose the standard as you'd imagine a Butlins all you can eat fry up to be. It did do the job. There was also quite a decent selection and it came with hot drinks and juice too. They also had a little supermarket on site. This was us just nipping out the rave briefly to put some milk at home before the shop shut, but it did sell pretty much everything that you'd get in your local Co-op and at roughly the same price too, which I thought was quite good. Also, just want to stress how amazing the vibes were here literally all weekend. Big up everyone who fully came and just brought the best version of themselves to this event, because the atmosphere overall was impeccable. The energy was ridiculous. Every single room was bouncing from the first set till the very last. Another thing I really loved about this event was that you get all the good vibes and the variety of a festival, but with the comfort of a proper room. If you needed to take a break or you had to pop back for something, your room was literally 2 minutes walk away. I did see some people complaining about the price, because it is a little bit more than the normal Butlins weekenders, but realistically you could go to a day festival in London, spend £200 on tickets, hotel, travel, and you've had one day out. The tickets for this start from £250, which includes 3 nights accommodation and raving. I'd say it's actually really solid value considering everything that you get out of the experience. Lastly, just want to give a massive shout out to the welfare lot who created this beautiful and calming space for absolutely anybody that needed it. If you were just feeling a little bit unwell or you needed a moment to gather yourself in a calm spot, they had you covered. There was fruit, tea, snacks if you needed a little boost. They also had toiletries and women's products, so if you just needed to pinch something, they were there to help you. Absolute lifesavers. Massively underrated but highly valued service. Big up to them. Also, special thanks to the lovely lady that made me and my friends a cup of tea. It was banging. Big shout out to the Butlins staff as well. I can't imagine these weekenders are easy, but these lot were absolutely brilliant. Final verdict, hospitality's first ever D&B Butlins weekender. What an absolute belter. 100% worth it. We've booked our tickets already. I reckon these are probably going to sell out fast. Remember, you're up against everyone that's already gone and knows how good it was, so if you know what's good for you, get booked.